Screen burner. Hey,
everyone.
it's the patch.
Welcome to the patch, where we delve into the mysteries of the video game universe and why there's screen burn-in on that monitor over there. This week's
It's a
episode
mouse.
of the
Don't
patch
worry, it's a mouse.
is brought to you, starring Gus.
Ryan.
Bernie. Well,
Wait.
it was supposed to be Bernie, but
Ashley. Yeah, there you go. And Gus. So
Whoop.
there you go. Start
Sands
the
of
timer.
time have begun.
look at that. You got a lot of shit for forgetting that.
I know. I get shit for doing it and shit for not doing it. It's a no-win scenario.
That's because you're on the internet.
I know. That's right.
The big one that happened this week, just happened the other day, was the shuttering of Irrational Games Studio. Wait, so is the studio shutting down, or is it just reducing to 15 people?
Sort of shutting down, but it's actually reducing to 15 people, but it's essentially shutting down because they're offloading all of their people and their games.
Yeah.
All the IPs moving on.
Yeah, it's basically like Ken Levine said, hey, I want a new studio, I want to do this whole new thing, but instead of leaving and starting a new thing with 15 dudes, he just laid everyone off.
Yeah. No, in the nicest way possible.
In the nicest way possible. Like, everyone still has, access to the studio, and they can put their portfolios together, and Irrational and 2K and Take-Two are all facilitating recruitment, and they're doing all this stuff. So that's nice. It doesn't mean they didn't all just lose their jobs, though.
Yeah, niceness doesn't pay the rent.
It's always weird, though. It's strange that they would let the name recognition of that go away. I mean, Irrational Games is falling off, or the map, essentially, with this move, sort of.
Yeah, and it's. I read an article on Joystick about it. It seemed like they were handing over. Yeah, they're handing over the BioShock universe to 2K, and BioShock 2 was developed by 2K Marin, independent of Irrational. So
Something that doesn't speak necessarily well for the future of BioShock.
And
but
didn't 2K Marin end up getting shut down already? I'm gonna look this
I
up
believe
because
you are
I think
correct.
they got
I think
shut down.
They did get shut down.
But Marin was also created from ex-Irrational developers.
Yes, after the original BioShock.
And they also worked on BioShock 2 with 2K Australia, which was headed for a while, not sure if it was during this period, by Jonathan Che, who helped found Irrational.
my head hurts.
And is 2K Australia still around, or did they get shuttered as well?
They might have got shuttered as well.
I think they got shut down
they
a couple
did.
years ago as well.
it sounds
did.
like musical chairs at this point. Like, oh, we're all moving over here. Now we're moving over there.
Honestly, that's like the studios. That's what they do.
Who
It's such
would
a
have
volatile
thought,
business.
You know,
They're
if-
all looking glass.
12 months ago, with the hype leading up to BioShock Infinite, and even through the launch and the commercial and critical success of BioShock Infinite, if you pulled someone aside and said, hey, in 12 months, Irrational's going to be gone. These people are not going to have jobs anymore. They'd be like, you are fucking crazy. How
Right.
dare you? And here we are. They did everything. One of the other things I want to talk about this week, which is huge in the news, is Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Which, for the two people who haven't heard about it yet, it's a Twitch channel where someone wrote software so that chat inputs control a game of Pokemon Red or Blue. I forget which one it is. I think it's Red.
It's
I think it's
Pokemon Red.
And so everyone who's watching in the stream can type commands into chat, which get translated there and then get fed into the ROM of the game. So it's right now. When I last looked right before I came over, there were like 80,000 people watching. So essentially, playing this game meant for one person to play. I brought Jordan out to talk with us a little bit about it. Jordan's another huge Twitch Plays Pokemon fan, so we'll get him on the mic here in just a second to talk about it. And I'm not a big Pokemon fan. I played Pokemon X and Y, and I really wasn't drawn into it. But for some reason, Twitch Plays Pokemon is like a soap opera to me. Like all this story that people have
the
developed around
meta-story.
what's happening. Yeah. And you over there, Jordan? You ready for us to chat with you? Because the way I heard about Twitch Plays Pokemon first was via Jordan. He, I think Ray and him had a Twitter exchange about it. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about your thoughts about the whole thing, Jordan?
Jordan, who does the animated adventures.
I found
everybody.
it. Ray had tweeted it, and I'm actually like checking updates right now to see what's going on still. But I was casually watching it. I wasn't aware of like the narrative that was going on until like you told me it was like a soap opera. And then when I saw it like that, it was, it got really interesting. And they had there's like the religions that have spawned from it, and like the whole political debate.
Is there like fan fiction? Are they?
Yeah, well, it's like
shipping
people
or something?
create this fictional story around what's happening based on like the interactions of the character and the world.
They're like getting attached to like the Pokemon in the party and stuff, and like since it's like madness of like inputting numbers or the commands and stuff, like they get accidentally released, and then like they get really sad. So like we've lost the starter, who is nicknamed Abby, because its name was ABBBK parentheses. So they just nicknamed her Abby.